Let's get some analysis now from an expert. Richard Coco is a retired FBI supervisory special agent. He joins me. Richard, it's always good to see you. Thank you for joining us.
Thanks, Polo.
So, Richard, you've been listening closely to what authorities are saying about this. We heard from Assistant Chief Tyrone Davis just in the last hour that they have that individual detained already, speaking to that individual, and they're trying to make contact or find a second person to try to see if they were potentially involved here. But they're also pleading to eyewitnesses, anybody that saw something, to come forward and say something. The chief said that at this point, they're really not getting a whole lot of information from witnesses, so they want more. I'm curious what this is telling you thus far about maybe what possibly happened in Seattle on Sunday.
Well, Polo, I think thankfully it's not going to be a terrorism-related event, is what it sounds like, at least. Reading between the lines with what the assistant police chief said there. Looks like it might be crime-related, gang-related, as he described it, two people shooting it out well with each other. Unfortunately, three innocent people killed and others wounded. So they've got one in custody right now. Plenty of witnesses. I mean, this food festival attracts up to 100,000 people a day. So there's plenty of people that certainly have some information. What they got to do now is pick up the phone and call the Seattle Police Department. And we heard the chief pleading with them to please do exactly that.
We know that at least 3 people have been confirmed dead, several others injured, including that child that we mentioned at the top. What does that tell you about the incident itself? At this preliminary stage, and just based on what you're hearing and all of these reports coming from officials, does it look to you that many of the victims there were essentially caught in the crossfire?
I think that's exactly it. I think these were innocent bystanders, is how it's going to play out, not targets of the two that were, at least two that were involved in the shooting. Very, very sad and unfortunate for those innocent bystanders. But law enforcement's going to work hard. They've got forensic evidence. They've got 2 guns that they've recovered there, so perhaps we'll get fingerprints. There are videos out there from spectators that shot videos, so that maybe they'll get some facial recognition. They'll get some witness interviews. It'll just take a little time, but over the next few hours, they'll gather some of that information. And whether it's cell phone analysis, license plate readers, whatever it is, they'll put 2 and 2 together. They'll come up with another suspect there. Their intelligence bureau may already have some information on who that person may be. And then they'll put out what's called a BOLO, or be on the lookout. And they'll be asking the community to help identify and locate that person, as well as police will be out doing their job to locate them and hopefully be able to arrest that second person and determine if they were involved very quickly.
Richard, you've no doubt seen some of the footage, some of the cell phone footage that people, shot that day, or actually during the incident on Sunday evening, where it shows just a mad scramble of people trying to seek shelter. Seattle police saying that they are, that they're roughly 350. I should say that the Bite of Seattle Festival's website says it draws some 350,000 guests over 3 days at the festival. So just maybe speak to the challenges that police officers face when they're responding to an event that's hosting potentially thousands of families.
Well, this is defending a soft target. This is a thing we've heard about now for years. I mean, there's only so much you can do to make an event like this attractive for people to come to, yet safe for people to be at. You can limit some of the access points. Want a very high police presence. Just seeing a police officer in uniform can provide some security, makes people feel more comfortable. And if anybody has any bad intentions, it can, perhaps scare them away. Police are always on the lookout for anything suspicious. They encourage people, if they see something, say something, to go ahead and make that call. And that's all part of keeping people safe. And then as far as the investigation, they'll have to look at the videos that are available. They wish there were more. They always wish there were more, but they'll vet the ones that come through and find that additional piece of information and track down this second person. But 100,000 people coming through a very, very famous food festival. It's important for the communities, important for Seattle. They don't want to put a stop to this, and they want to find a way to make this safe and comfortable for everybody.
Yeah, so many people, including children. And Richard, just strictly speaking, as a retired law enforcement officer, you've had interactions with crime victim, or crime victims, I should say. I mean, just can you speak to the level of emotional trauma also that so many people are probably having to deal with at this hour. I mean, in the video, you see families, holding their children, running to cover. That has to have, I assume, a lasting effect from a law enforcement perspective.
It does have that lasting effect. It's terrifying for these people. You'll hear a lot of the early interviews, and they say, "I thought it was fireworks." I'm not recognizing that it's gunfire. Well, those people there that were there now, every time they hear fireworks right now after this, they're going to think it's gunfire first, when in reality it will be fireworks. This kind of changes them forever. And not only do you have once the gunfire starts, people are shot and are down. Now you've got thousands of people evacuating and evacuating not in a calm way, but in that chaos, additional people can get hurt. We see some of these big concerts or other events where people run away or evacuate, and people are sometimes crushed or injured in that kind of chaos. So that's very problematic as well. So it's not just the shooting that's dangerous, the entire event is dangerous, changes people's mindset on being in these events. They get a form of PTSD, and just way too many of these active shooter events, and absolutely problematic, has lasting impact on everybody involved.
Yeah, you and I have spoken one too many times, as we cover these circumstances where what's supposed to be a peaceful event is interrupted by the sound of bullets. Nonetheless, so Richard Coco, we're grateful for your analysis, always helping us get a better understanding of what's happening. Thank you.
Absolutely, Polo.